Boom. Salutations. You know, this is one of those videos that I gotta make sure that I don't get emotional on because I feel this subject very deeply, okay? And this is the result of actually a post I did on Facebook that I probably shouldn't have. And it seemed to trigger some people, and then I got triggered. So it was just, I think the wording maybe, and I should not just have asked, but it dealt with this. And it's something that I've dealt with in several regressions, okay? And an earthbound spirit release also. I've dealt with this a few times. And this several times. This is, what if when crossing over, or while between lives in heaven, or what we would call heaven, or higher vibrational frequencies, you see some people that were monsters and horrible people in life, even some that were murderers and things like that, and you see them on the other side there, where you feel they shouldn't probably be there. So does that, and my wording was, does that mean the light is a trick, or that we do not fully understand consciousness? All right, and a couple of people want to have a go at me saying that, you know, it's a trick, the light is a trick, yada yada. And a while ago, I had done a video that was called Bad Advice. And in that, I talked about that, another what happens in the light. And what actually happens, what I've encountered when dealing with especially earthbound spirits and people and clients in regression, and about what the light is and what going into it does. And the rumor is that, oh, it's you know, this person came out, oh, it's Courtney Brown and Farsight Institute said it's a trick. He had a bad NDE. Okay, I had NDE, nothing like that happened to me, okay? And there's a small fraction of people that say these things are happening to them, so I don't discredit that, but I think it comes a lot more when you need to look at, when evaluating that, the video I did called SSP and mind control, or the one on brain hacking, and what people are actually being exposed to with these technologies. And believe that there is a technology I know that's similar to like a dream technology, targeted dream incubation technology. And I'll talk about that in a separate video. But this one deals with a machine that would produce a type of a false light that would give us, that they could get us in the twilight of our consciousness, okay? But that's something that happens more here, okay? That is not on the oversoul level, on the divine self, the superconscious. Some things like that can't happen to us unless we consent to it. Hate to say that, I know it's not going to be popular, but I've encountered that a lot. These things don't happen, and that there's a choice. And when I tell you this, was coming from the other side, based on what I see on this planet, based in something I was told in my contact experiences when I was a kid about this frequency that we hit and we come through this solar system that produces some type of an electrical scalar shock to our soul field, and it aids us in the already erased of memories, soul memory, life memories that already happens when we return to the repository of God and come back to incarnation anyway. Some of that happens at the place I've told you that I call the place of translation, reconfiguration. Anyway, so that is, at that point, okay, is where the oversoul and the divine oversoul, they can't be just trapped, something like that, okay? It's a whole nother thing going on, and that's the level I go to when I do regressions, not just alpha, okay? You've got to tap into that. Anyway, so point being, and I had to change my thinking. I thought this was a prison planet that is full of lost souls that are caught in the reincarnation cycle trap, based on the things I see on this planet. And I have somebody like my brother that would tell me, you know, man, I didn't consent to come here in any way, any form, any quantum level or anything. I hate it here. I was like injected here. And when you say that, it always makes me laugh. You know, but in reality, that's not correct. If he were to go under deep, I think he'd find that he consented to come here too. And yet, do I have one person to tell me that during these regressions or during this, that they that they were forced by the light to come here, they were forced by the creator to come here, that the guide made them come here, anything, they have a choice. The last one I just did a couple of days ago, the individual displaced of translation and reconfiguration, reconfiguration and translation was actually a pond type area. Sitting on a beautiful bench, the guide comes up, sits with them, and they start going over current life in the water. And more they're feeling the intent of the choices that they had, okay, that they made towards others. That's they're reviewing a lot. And then at that point, you know, the guide says you can go back if you want. You can go back to Earth, or you can go somewhere else if you want. And the client is like, I don't know exactly where I want to go. I don't know yet. And the guide said, well, you can stay here if you want, as long as you want. You know, that might be kind of boring, but nonetheless, the choice was theirs. The guide wasn't just giving them the, yeah, you can do whatever you want. The option was theirs. So when dealing with these types of soul traps and false traps, and I've done videos over that too, and you can see on some of these videos how my perspective had to change, especially when I did 2 videos called Is Earth a Prison Planet? Part 1 and 2. Go back and look at those. I won't be doing any more videos probably, so this is the last run for me. Many thanks to my friend PC, so please look at this stuff, all right? It's not just me talking, and my dear Lord, let me tell you why I get emotional about that. And as my brother told me, he read the responses I had to this individual on one of these individuals on my post, and he said I went a little hard on him. And I always ask for that when challenging the people that do this, don't go into the light thing, all right? I ask for 3 criteria. 1 is, are you a medium, okay? Have you had a near-death experience? 3, have you worked on a client base or a database of crossing over earthbound spirits that are either inside the energy field or outside the energy field? And have they even told you about that? Do they know about that? Because the one inside the energy field attached to places of trauma, you can't detect. No medium can. The ones on the outside you can get survival evidence from and other things, but the one inside you can't. But they come out in hypnosis. If you really know how to go deep and you have the right techniques, I'm not the only person doing this work. It can be researched. And I'll tell you right now, anybody doing the work will tell you that's what changed it. That's what changed my ideas on a lot of this stuff. The choice and the things to come here and what the light is too, and this false light and all these things and the difference. Okay, that comes up here. So what I believe didn't hold water in a lot of these things. And I get these individuals coming at me about this and that, well, what evidence do you have to support that? Well, such and such said that. Such and such said it. These other people. Individuals going off on me is talking about Courtney Brown and just 1 or 2, 3, 4 other people. I don't care. Posse up. I don't care. That is not going to stop. Why were not the Tibetan Book of the Dead talking about that? Why did they not show us this? Or any of those ancient texts, or the people that have the majority NDE? Something is going on, and it's an infiltration with this false light thing, technology being done by people that are having NDEs. 2 people that are having NDEs. I keep real with that, all right? The reason why I get emotional about this, and I probably went too hard on that person, is that I've seen, doing this work, I've seen suffering. My good Lord, I'm not, let's get emotional. You see, it's the suffering of not just the clients who are suffering by these earthbound spirits acting through them with negative behavior patterns, it's also the earthbounds that are suffering. And I've had some tell me directly, when I asked them why they didn't cross over, why they didn't go into the light, they'll tell you, either I was afraid of the light, I didn't know, I've done bad things to people, I thought it was hell, I might go in there and burn, or I didn't understand it, or I was told it was a trick. I thought maybe it was a trick, so I just didn't go in, I stayed here, and then everything got real dark. And I've done probably 500 earthbounds now, maybe a little more I've crossed over. That's a lot, and I hear that consistently all the time. It's dark, okay? And that's a major deal, and that's not just false, and that means it's the light between the dark. It's a battle. The battle is real, and there's something trying to turn people against the light, so if they hate the light, like the individual who's going off on me, I can tell they have a hate for the light, and most likely they're holding trauma from childhood abuse or something that gets locked up in the body, and they're angry at the Creator, they're angry at God, you know, and they can't answer my criteria. They have time to go on other pages and try to blast me and stuff. That's fine, but they can never answer my criteria or any of the questions I was asking. What techniques are you using to protect yourself? What are you going to do when you pass? Where are you going? And I hope it's better than that silly individual that is very well known saying, oh, when I died, I just went around the light, I went off and I was going through the universes and yeah, okay, it's not astral projecting. And it sounded like a lie to me because that's viewing things with the mind, the human brain still. The personality doesn't die, but the brain is no longer functioning. So the energy fields of us still are interpreting other energy fields like we did through the brain because our personalities don't die. But there's a darkness that comes with that. And I'm telling you what I've dealt with data, clientele-wise. Okay, I gotta wrap this up. So, point being, the suffering. And when I talk about the suffering, go back and look at the video Without Sanctuary I did. And Alan, Brother Alan. And how hard, that was a hard one for me crossing. But that had to do a lot with that. So talk about that and the suffering that comes with both humans and the earthbound spirits right now. I've told you before, they're as numerous as the living down here. They're everywhere. There's a bunch of them, okay? And they're attached to everybody. I've yet to get a client that doesn't have one or two of these attached to them. It's just what goes on down here. And that not going into the light is preaching to people of creating more earthbound spirits. That's the way that works. It's not just me talking. It's one thing when people have their opinions you want, but you come on my platform, that opinion, you better have very solid fact that backs it up more than a couple of people's testimony that had bad experiences. So that's, a big point in that, is that it's very important to not create more earthbound spirits. And if not, and these people, they need to really present what techniques and everything they're using that's so greater than what all the rest of us are seeing. I've seen this. It's not these just your loved ones that are in the light, or these projections of some type of machinery or something, some hologram of that. It's something, this is coming from the Creator and the divine field, a lot of it. And there is a divine field, and there's a battle going on between light and darkness. And if you're against the light, you're representing dark. And these people often are very angry. They come at you angry, and it always starts off the same way. It starts off with a nice compliment. Oh, I love you. And then they slam you from there on out. It never ends. That's the dark thing. Dark forces using people, you see that. People working with dark forces, you see that. They latch on to people's trapped emotions that they don't want to admit that they have. And if you bring that up, they start really going off on you. Okay? But it's true, they're not dealt with that stuff, so they hate the light. They hate the Creator sometimes. They won't say that. I worked with an individual that had a hard time crossing over anything attached to them because they don't believe in the Creator. So, I can do about that. I'm not going to do all the work for individuals. So it's, interesting. Get rid of them, but if you don't change your frequency, you'll catch more, and it just becomes an issue. So this is food for thought, but some of it is based on data and experience. What I had in my near-death experience, what I've dealt with working with a population of earthbound spirits and clients, and also what I see as a medium too, both during sessions and after, or not in sessions. This counts. Somebody said, you're not an expert on this. Well, if you're somebody that's researching this only a year or two, and you've not done any work in the field, you've not done any client work, any work with these earthbounds or anything like that, you don't really know. You're just talking. And you're talking from something someone else said. And they could be lying to you. I could be lying to you, but I could prove it for the most part. But you gotta be really careful, and your discernment is needed a lot. And your connection with the Creator is personal. Religion, all that stuff, out of it. Just for you spiritually, one-on-one, that's a personal experience. And it means something, what we are, and we're fragments of that, and when we cross, and all this means something. So please subscribe, push the bell. Much love to the people on Patreon. This video wouldn't be being made. My friend PC, who's leaving, so these videos are coming to an end. This is one of my last ones, and it's been a good run. Okay, 400 videos all together for 8 years now. I'm kind of proud of that. So Much love to you, your family. Peace to everybody on there. Hit that button and share the video, please. Peace.